Time now for the front page. This is a news digest where we cover the news that happened after the show yesterday and while we were asleep. USA Today is reporting a RICO indictment has been set before the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, and the American people. A Georgia grand jury indicted 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump and several allies yesterday on conspiracy charges of trying to steal Georgia's electoral votes from President Joe Biden after the 2020 election. The indictment brought 41 charges against 19 defendants, accuses Trump and confederates of a coordinated plan to have state officials essentially spike Biden's victory and award the state to Trump. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis launched her investigation of Trump in February of 2021. The indictment had been expected since a special grand jury recommended unspecified charges in February of 2023. Willis said Trump had opportunities to legally challenge the election results, but chose instead to pursue a criminal scheme that was counter to Georgia's process she called, quote, essential to the functioning of our democracy. Willis gave former President Donald Trump and 18 other individuals named in Monday's grand jury indictment until August 25th to surrender. This from Fox News. Willis held a press conference late yesterday after a Fulton County grand jury handed up charges against the former president and several others. The Georgia District Attorney gave Trump and 18 other individuals in the indictment until noon of August 25th to surrender to law enforcement. Willis, last night during a press conference, said she would like a trial to take place within 6 months. Quote, defendant Donald John Trump lost the United States presidential election held on November 3rd, 2020. One of the states he lost was Georgia. The indictment went on to say Trump and other defendants charged in this indictment refused to accept that Trump lost, and they knowingly and willfully joined a conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of the election in favor of Trump. That conspiracy contained a common plan and purpose to commit 2 or more acts of racketeering activity in Fulton County, Georgia, elsewhere in the state of Georgia, and in other states. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis also deflected when she was asked how a draft of the indictment appeared Monday prior to the grand jury vote to charge former President Donald Trump and 18 others. Yesterday afternoon, the Fulton County Court website posted a document listing the same charges included in the indictment released late last night. Reuters first reported on the document before Fulton County Court quickly removed it from the website. Quote, the office of the Fulton County Clerk or Superior and Magistrate Courts has learned of a fictitious document that had been circulated online and reported by various media outlets to the Fulton County Special Purpose Grand Jury, the court said in a statement yesterday afternoon. Trump attorneys Drew Findling and Jennifer Little slammed the Fulton County District Attorney's office yesterday afternoon. Quote, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office has once again shown they have no respect for the integrity of the grand jury process. This was not a simple administrative mistake. A proposed indictment should only be in the hands of the District Attorney's Office, yet somehow it made its way to the clerk's office and was assigned a case number and a judge before the grand jury even deliberated. For his part, former President Trump made a statement about the Georgia indictment. This from Fox News. It's an exclusive. Former President Trump told Fox News Digital this fourth indictment comes during a dark period for our country, but vowed to win in 2024 and make America great again. Trump was indicted for the fourth time last night, this time out of the Georgia probe into alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. 19 people were indicted. The whole world is laughing at the United States, said the former president, as they see how corrupt and horrible a place it has turned out to be under the leadership of crooked Joe Biden. This from Trump telling Fox News during an exclusive interview late last night. Elsewhere in politics, the House Republicans are eyeing a short-term funding stopgap to keep the government open past the end of the fiscal year on September 30th, as lawmakers struggle through an appropriations process characterized by a conservative push to slash spending. Speaker Kevin McCarthy, the Republican from California, said on a GOP conference call yesterday evening the House will likely have to pass a short-term solution known as a continuing resolution, or CR, according to 2 sources on the call. McCarthy said he does not want the CR to be jammed at the end of the year or stretch into the December holidays, according to the sources. But that CR, that continuing resolution, will not come easily. Members of the party's right flank have stressed they will only vote for bills that set funding at fiscal 2022 levels, and a CR would keep spending the same as in fiscal 2023. President Biden, as we continue with politics, has moved forward with student loan cancellation. This from ABC News. Beginning Monday, hundreds of thousands of federal student loan borrowers will receive emails from their servicers with the subject line, "Your student loans have been forgiven." The notices will come as part of the Biden administration's previously announced efforts to cancel debt for 804,000 borrowers who qualify for relief under their repayment plans but have not yet received it because of what officials have called administrative failures. The emails were set to start going out on Monday, according to a copy of the confirmation notices that two borrowers that ABC News exclusively obtained. It's expected that 800,000 plus more borrowers will be notified of some relief in the coming weeks. By the end of the day, Monday, the Department of Education estimated it had wiped out the debt of more than 200,000 people. Out of Newsmax today, former Republican Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake told Newsmax, happened yesterday, that President Joe Biden and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas want the U.S. to have open borders as a part of a Marxist takeover of the country. Quote, "We're in the middle of a revolution, and we're about to turn into a Marxist country if we don't stand up and do something," said Kari Lake. "They've taken over education. They've taken our border. This is why we have to keep someone like me out," or that's why they had to keep someone like me out, because they knew my border plan was going to show other governors how it's done. Lake, who contends she was a victim of voter fraud in the 2022 Arizona gubernatorial elections, said that if the federal government is not doing its job in protecting the border, it's up to the states. She brought up Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution, which recognizes a state's sovereign power to defend itself against invasion. Schools. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals has denied reversal of a Maryland school district transgender policy. This from NBC News. A federal appeals court yesterday ruled that a group of parents could not challenge a Maryland school district's policy against telling parents if their children identify as transgender or gender nonconforming. The Fourth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals had a panel. They ruled 2-1 that 3 parents in Montgomery County, Maryland, lacked standing to challenge the policy because they had not alleged their children were transgender in the first place. The policy, which the Montgomery County School Board adopted for the 2020-2021 school year, permitted schools to develop gender support plans for students to ensure they, quote, feel comfortable in expressing their gender identity, unquote. The policy directs school personnel to help transgender and gender nonconforming students create a plan that addresses their preferred pronouns, names, and bathrooms, and bars staff from informing parents of those plans without the student's consent. Elsewhere in schools, this from Fox News, Arkansas is following Florida in removing AP African Studies courses. The Arkansas Department of Education revoked an AP African American Studies pilot program for the 2023-24 school year after it was tested in a few schools during the previous school year. According to the Arkansas Department of Education, there was no exam offered to students during the 2022-2023 school year, and that the course may not be used for college credit. In a statement to Fox News Digital, Henning further elaborated how they cannot approve of the pilot because it would put state educators at risk of violating the law. Quote, "The AP African American Studies pilot course is not a history course and is a pilot that is still undergoing major revisions. Arkansas law contains provisions regarding prohibited topics," according to the department's communications director, Alexa Henning. In the culture, the United States is seeing a record rise of homelessness. This from Newsmax. Surging housing costs, a shortage of affordable rental units, and the ongoing opioid crisis are reportedly factors leading to a record number of people in the United States who are homeless. The number of homeless people has jumped 11% so far this year, according to the Wall Street Journal. Outside of an artificially high total last year following an interruption in counting because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the next highest increase since the U.S. government started tracking comparable numbers in 2007 was 2.7% in 2019. High housing costs are taking the heaviest toll, according to the Wall Street Journal, following the end of pandemic-era policies such as financial aid and eviction moratoriums. In health news today, from CBS, nearly 188,000 dementia cases in the U.S. every year may have been caused by air pollution. This is according to researchers and an estimate with bad air quality from wildfires and agriculture showing the strongest links to a person's risk of Alzheimer's disease and other kinds of dementia later in life. Published yesterday in the Journal of the American Medical Association Network Open, the new estimates are the latest to underscore the range of health risks scientists have long warned are being driven by air pollution. While studies have already linked overall bad air quality to a number of health problems, including the risk of developing dementia, the new study offers a finer-grained look at how specific causes of air pollution seem to be more strongly linked to dementia than in others. And finally, in the front page today, Clarence Avant, a trailblazing record executive known as the Black Godfather, has died at age 92. This from ABC News. Clarence Avant, the beloved music executive who came to be known as the Black Godfather, has died at age 92, according to his family, reporting to ABC News. Quote, "It is with a heavy heart that Avant Sarando's family announces the passing of Clarence Alexander Avant. Through his revolutionary business leadership, Clarence became affectionately known as the Black Godfather in the worlds of music, entertainment, politics, and sports." His children, Nicole and Alex Avant, his son-in-law, Ted Sarandos, said in the statement. The North Carolina native managed successful acts such as Sarah Vaughan, Little Willie Johnson, Little Willie John, Freddie Hubbard, and Jimmy Smith. His deal-making abilities soon earned the attention of legendary label executive Quincy Jones, who said that after the two met, they went on to become best friends and brothers. Avant's work includes his contributions to the careers of notable black figures like boxing legend Muhammad Ali, NFL Hall of Famer Jim Brown, and baseball greats Jackie Robinson and Hank Aaron. In fact, quote, "Without Clarence Avant, there is no Hank Aaron." Hank Aaron himself declared that in a Netflix documentary, quote, The Black Godfather. R.I.P. Clarence Avant. That's the front page for today, August 15th. It's Tuesday, 2023.